Let's first talk about the sudden evacuation. The Philippine Coast Guard ship retreated on the 15th with a number of sick crew members taken off stretchers. This is allegedly a result of Chinese efforts to cut supplies with a complete blockade starting at the end of August. Without access to food, many of the 60 crew members were left starving, relying only on rainwater during those gruesome 3 weeks. Professor Ding, does China see this as a win?
Basically, China sees this kind of a victory for China's effort to block the Philippines to resupply, because Philippines will now resupply and will temporarily withdraw from the Sabina Shoal. So this is the first point, that this is perceived by China kind of a victory. Another victory should be watched in the sense that, because we see during this process, United States once again made a statement, say they will support Philippines' effort in defending the so-called maritime territory. But we only see, the statement without the so-called real action taken by the United States. Why United States did not take real action? Because United States signed so-called mutual defense treaty with Philippines. But for this case, China launched the so-called Coast Guard ship. It's kind of paramilitary. It's not a real military. So although United States made a statement, says that they will support the Philippines' effort to defend their maritime territory, but the both sides, the China and the Philippines, they mobilize their Coast Guard ships, not warships. So there's no real so-called good excuse for United States to provide military support to the Philippines. But because without there's no reason for United States to provide military support, so leave Philippines alone to handle the whole case, then they will give China to do the international propaganda, say that, look, although United States say they will continue to provide support to the Philippines' effort defending their maritime territory, but in fact, United States is doing nothing. So this really allows China to make international propaganda, and this is somewhat detrimental to U.S. effort in this region to build its so-called alliance relationship.
Captain Yen, I wanted to turn to what the professor just mentioned in terms of the United States and the Philippines being in this mutual treaty. But what we've seen the State Department say, and also certain U.S. officials come out and talk about, that they are actually in support for whatever the Philippines needs in terms of, but that's on the condition that the Philippines requests for support from the United States, including escorts of its ships to these resupply missions. Why do you think the Philippines is holding back on that?
They consider the effect will not be in their interest. That's why they withdraw that ship, even though there's a U.S. promise that they will provide support. The difference is, every mutual defense treaty, they have Article 5, and they also have internal procedure to get past the Congress and declare war. So that's a very serious thing. So in this situation, I think they mean to stand long enough there, and that they have already won international sympathies. I think that was the Philippines' objective.
Given that there actually was a retreat, do you feel, turn to Professor Ding, this could be applied to the Taiwan Strait as well, in terms of China's intimidation tactics?
This likelihood is there, because we can see in the past several months, China really increases the frequency of maritime patrol by the Coast Guard ships. Particularly beginning of February this year, when we have an accident in Quemoy area, then we see in the past several months, China increased the deployment of the so-called Coast Guard ships to the Taiwan Straits, and gradually move their warship to east of Taiwan. So it's a kind of a new pattern there now that seems China want to employ so-called this kind of a paramilitary instead of pure military approach in the Taiwan Straits. I think this is a kind of a tactical or some kind of a temporary change, maybe, because China probably, before China launched all-out invasion against us, then China maybe need to test different strategy, and also combination between so-called Coast Guard ships and the warship, so on and so forth, because depend on the overall strategy. So this is what I mean. Let's back to say that in the past several months, particularly after February this year, China increased the deployment of Coast Guard ships in the Taiwan Straits, and we see all the warships to the east of Taiwan these days. So this is kind of a new pattern, and China seems now deploy more and more Coast Guard ships in the Taiwan Strait. Maybe the goal is try to, with this kind of a numerical advantage, they try to dispel or repel the U.S. Coast Guard ships in this region in the future.